All right. I
We've
probably
never heard
should.
that before.
Hi guys.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. All right.
Never in your life have you sounded more like a tech guy.
Jesus Christ. That's not even my phone voice. My phone voice is not even close to that. Welcome everybody to the Faceless Fanatics podcast. I am your host with the most, Xavier. I want to bring in my two co-hosts, or I guess you guys are hosts. I'm terrible at this. Kara and Stacy.
Beautiful cold hosts.
Exactly, beautiful co-hosts.
Aww.
All right. We skipped a week last week, but no big deal. We're gonna be talking about some stuff that we've seen. There's been so much stuff, too much stuff to cover.
So much, yeah.
Oh my god, let me tell you. So last week we talked about a lot of stuff that just was flying over and stuff like that. We're gonna cover a lot of league news because there seems to be a lot of league news. It seems like we missed most of the controversy. There were like backlash on skins, of course. They keep pushing back this fucking Essence Emporium. I want to spin my blue Essence Riot. Please.
I want the chromas.
As of right now, September 6th is the day. And their little dev update, they're talking about things are going to be changing. Mythic items may not be a thing come 2024.
What?
So I know that when me and Kara watched it originally, she mentioned that it was kind of confusing. I think it was Bright Moon when he brought it up. He was saying that mythic items are getting changed, but he also said they were getting removed. So that always bodes the question, like, what are they intending to do? Because Riot does this thing where they'll say something as a matter of fact, and then somewhere on the lines we get like a minute change instead of a major one.
Like, what do they mean by removed? Are they just moving it to a different like section, or completely taking the items out, or?
I wish they elaborated a little.
I think they're just taking. Well, that's what was confusing whenever we watched it. So he was basically saying something along the lines of like how they want to change it because they don't want to make it as something that you could have to like buy initially, or like you can't buy other items because you have this item. Because I was talking to Xavier about how you used to be able to buy like Lord Doms and Moral Reminder at the same time, right? And then as they keep going, then all of a sudden they're talking about how they're just going to take it away. So it's like, which is it?
Does that mean they're going to bring back stackable items?
That's another good question. Things from previous seasons, I think season 10 was when mythic items were changed or introduced. You could get 2 Triforces. It probably wasn't beneficial to you, but you could. You can get multiple Infinity Edges. Since then, mythics were capped and you could only buy one. You could buy duplicate components, but not, you couldn't even buy duplicate legendaries. So that is an interesting thing that they may have going on there.
Actually, completely forgot you used to be able to just buy like 6 Infinity Edges.
It seems like it was so long ago, but when you look at it, it's literally only 4 seasons ago, if that.
Back in my day.
Like, what if you just want a full inventory of Dorian's blades? You know, like.
Well, you could still do that as of right now, but it bodes the question: will this be a major change for League? Because when they were introduced, I could definitely tell you, League felt different.
Are the mythic items?
I wonder if like they're gonna get removed. I imagine they're not gonna remove items that are so popular with ADCs, like the Gale Force utility or the shield you get from Shield Bow. But maybe they don't apply a mythic passive. They might just have the utility options, so you still get the shield when you're low health on Shield Bow, and you still get the activatable dash with Gale Force. But maybe they reduce the amount of damage Gale Force does, or just significantly reduce the price of the item overall. But with reduced prices, they may have reduced scaling as well.
Yeah, well, that's what they did before with like the huge update when all of this happened. They took away a bunch of items and then made new items, and then regular items used different items that you would buy to combine into them, and then they were either like way more stronger or less because then they were cheaper and required a less item, and it was a whole thing, and I hated it.
Change doesn't work well for League players. They don't like change, and this kind of scares me. The fact that they're going to do this. Know how it's going to work out, or what items people are going to get. Is it still going to be meta? I'm scared.
They also announced that they're splitting the rank season 3 times, which is more similar to a current esports game. League traditionally has one major season, and then it would go into preseason, and the next season would begin there. Which hence why we're only in season 13, even though the game has been out almost 12, 14 years. Probably more than that, right? Fact check that.
I think talking without thinking, but yeah, I think it's been longer than that. But since you were talking about it, I honestly prefer it the old way, but I feel like there's a lot of give and take, because I also told you I like how there's no more promo games and things like that, which I feel like we only get because now they shift everything in the seasons and whatnot. But at the same time, I hate all the seasons being split, and I liked how like you just have 1 year of ranked, and it's like you make it or you don't.
That's an
It
interesting
is 14 years, by the way.
14 years old. Okay.
14 years.
So that's incredible that there's only 13 seasons, but it's been around 14 years. But it shows how they were running things for the longest time. So this will be a major change, and I've already noticed it. As far as placing, it's a lot easier because it's only 5 games. It used to be 10. No promotional games even between your own division. So if you're in bronze or silver and you're going from 3 to 2, no promotion game in between those games. That was a change they've done a little bit ago. But also when you're going from bronze 1 to silver 4 or etc., there is no promotional games at all. So in theory, it makes the grind easier, but because you have so much less time, and I think in the future even less than, because this year we only did 1 split.
Yeah.
They're going to do several splits if they're doing as they're planning coming up. So that's even less time you have to grind games and try to get higher. So that is a trade-off. I'm glad you mentioned that, Kara. I didn't even think about that. But they seem proud of it. Ultimately, do you think this is good for League upcoming changes, or is it just something that we're going to have to deal with, you think?
I'm worried.
Bring back season 6.
But also, going on with League news, we have some upcoming skins, and our favorite brand player, top 400
Top
brand in the
300
world,
brand.
he's getting a Street Demon.
98 NA. Okay.
298 NA. Look it up.
This is brand.
It looks like they keep him in the fire motif. He's kind of like a street demon, if you go figure.
No! No! What is that?
He's very pink. He looks like bubblegum.
Where's his nose? What happened? How can you smell what the brand is cooking if even he can't? No! I don't like it. I don't
Sal was cooking himself.
like it.
They gave him a lot of straps
Firefighter,
here.
like suspenders going on?
Oh.
It looks like it. Yeah, it does.
He's like a Fire Force character. Okay.
Oh, these skins all look kind of what is it, simplified for their usual splash arts for skins. I mean, see, if you look at this one, and then if you look at the Nico one after it, you'll see it's very, very kind of.
Let's have a look at the Nico, because we also have this lined up here. The in-game, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't look that amazing to me. Let's see the splash art. The splash art usually is like what carries these skins, I feel sometimes.
Mhm.
Shout out to Skin Spotlights, always providing better in-game footage than League themselves.
Carry it to the dumpster.
Ooh, I guess they wanted to go for a gecko look here. Nico players, please comment and let me know if you're buying this day one. I really need to know. I'm trying not to be a hater because I love different skin lines. This one, I don't think these two anyway.
It's a
So
chameleon. It's a chameleon. Her tail like expands when she does a move, and then she's got a little tongue that comes out for one of her moves.
let's see her abilities. I want to see the VFX. Okay, that's pretty. Gonna be annoying to deal with when she hits you with her abilities. Let's see.
You change colors like the chameleon.
I want to see that ultimate. So it's kind of like a spray paint splash or something they got going on with every ability. Goopy. You know, all the kids love goop. Love
was
that
the
goop.
First That was my first thought when I saw Brand. Is he looks like neon goop?
He just makes me think of like Hubba Bubba Gum or something. He's very
Well,
pink.
Don't you ever insult Hubba Bubba like that again.
So they
At least
chose
he's
green
not saying
VFX for his
residue.
fire. As far as brand skins go, you know you gotta be a collectionist. You gotta get all of them. Is this one gonna catch them all? Look at the chromas here.
Wait,
Let's
okay.
Let's see. Let's the
Chroma.
chromas.
No, I hate it regardless. His head looks stupid.
see.
It looks okay. No. Let's hear me out. You know what his head looks like? Like those really dorky bicycle helmets that your like parents made you.
I know it. Yeah, not the cool one, not the skater helmets.
It's
the
the one
biker
that
helmet.
like looks like a football cut in half and put on top of your head. Oh man, I'm so upset with this.
The V.
I'm so upset with this. Yeah, that's what his head looks like.
Oh no! I see it. I see it.
I hate it. Oh, Brand.
I'll never not be able to see it on his V.
Likes her brand's bulb.
Oh man.
Who else is in this skin line? It looks like Rangar is in. Let's see the splash art. He looks like a lion more than a cat. No splash art? No splash art yet. Okay.
His looks least damaging out of the three.
I think his luscious mane saves him here. His little knives do kind of look silly, but that's probably what they're going for here. He's not a helmet head. I'm interested in the chromas. We got a vast array of colors here.
Yeah. I like the white, the silver hair right
The
here.
silver hair closer to original
I think
Rengar.
That one's A1. That's A1 right there.
I think that's good. Who got the prestige here? Was it Nico? It's probably Nico. Let's see. They always give us a prestige with these. Oh, we're going to talk about Briar in a second as well. Oh, there is no
Talia
prestige
got
as of yet. Talia got a Crystal Modus skin. Ooh, it looks pretty. Oh, yeah. Now, that is a skin. The crystals look amazing.
Oh, wait till you see her
Blue scoops.
her R.
Ooh, that
Her
splash
R
art
looks
is good.
really
too.
nice.
Now, see, why is this one so much better than the others? This actually looks really good. I love the idea of a crystal using Talia.
Earthbender.
Yeah.
Way better. Significantly better.
It's not as intrusive either. The VFX come out really nice. And using an element that makes sense and not just arbitrary goop just seems to work.
Honestly, my day's ruined. I don't think I can kill anymore.
No.
Oh,
See, this skin
man.
would be nice. No, you need to see her ult first.
Her ult? Okay, let's go back and check out the ult. Because my
waited all this time for a decent brand skin, and I just keep waiting.
What do you mean? He got that prestige one with the Debonair.
Debonair brand is terrible.
Debonair.
You don't like husband brand?
No.
Brand looks like he
See,
could
this
fit
skin
in
would
for a
look nice.
podcast in that skin.
On
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Howling Abyss.
Oh yeah, this would be great. Honestly, this seems like a good spiritual successor to her little what was it, her Samsung Galaxy skin? Or no, I think she has a Frost one. This one's good. So Talia players, I would buy this day one. Unfortunately, does it come with chroma? It has one chroma.
I like it.
It's a very nice
I like
looking
that
one
one
too.
better than the original. I'd buy the chroma.
Yeah, the white looks good on her hair. So that's a thumbs up. Thanks, Skin Spotlights. Like and subscribe. Zyra's also getting one. She kind of looks like a devil of some sort. It's just it's the skin line. It's the whole skin line, I think. It just doesn't really flow too well. Splash art,
like
this is the
splash art.
better of the splash arts. I'm not gonna lie.
Splash art's phenomenal.
If you compare it to the brand. Oh man.
Splash art's great. Are we looking at the same skin?
Brand's not a female. He doesn't get extra attention.
That's unfortunate because I think that if they could have probably just maybe default palette a little bit better VFX, no V helmet head haircut, you know.
You're lucky he even has his shirt off.
Oh, poor little helmet head.
Moving on.
This gonna be his nickname from now on.
Yep.
Helmet Head.
Every time I see that skin.
Stacy, I saw that there was some Mortal Kombat news. I'm gonna let you have the floor on this one. We got our boy Dave
Oh, is this the
Bautista.
live action?
Let's find out.
Bautista.
I just watched the Mortal Kombat movie again the other night, actually.
Mortal Kombat.
What one? No.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
There's a force hidden in all of us.
No talking in the
Only a
library.
select few, the fearless, will discover
How
it.
great would it have been if somebody said shh?
Kombat. Unleash it and ignite a new realm of possibilities. Where legends are rewritten
Wait.
Wait, do we
and
have,
new alliances are forged.
we have firebenders now?
The fight is calling. Who will you bring? Who will you No longer are we beholden to the past. A new
Oh
era
no.
is upon us. This is our time. This is
What is going on?
Mortal
Everyone just has powers?
And what? Oh no.
Batista's just recruiting people off the street.
Oh, it's for the game.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
it. I wasn't sure either.
I thought this was for a movie. I was like, they just turned this movie trailer into a Pepsi commercial, I feel like.
Yeah.
It looks like it was just a hype bringer.
Then peace around the world.
I wasn't
Yeah,
too
I was-
sure.
The graphics looked great, so I hope it's just a hype bringer because those graphics were nice for all of the 3 seconds we saw them.
One I'm most impressed with in the Mortal Kombat characters I've seen so far, because I know they've changed a lot of the lore, is Reptile.
Reptile
Reptile
does look
looks-
good.
Looks so good.
Let's see if we can get some
Oh,
input.
look at that fan. Are you kidding?
They put all the graphics in on this boy. This is from
I'm
GameSpot.
not be able to hear this though.
That's probably for the best. Hold on.
So how does it work? You just shape shift into anything you want?
I can shift only between this and my natural form.
Nice.
Pause.
Try now.
That I
Oh,
could
yeah.
Shift into anything you want?
There we
I
go.
can shift only between this and my natural form.
Whoa.
That I
Look at
could
that
take
cuddly
human
boy.
form made me a
Oh,
freak
look at
among
those
my people.
choppers.
I was terrorized. Run out.
I'm one of those people who play the Mortal Kombat games for the story, so this is gonna be fun.
You misread my intentions, princess.
Oh my god, they gave him so many good moves.
I am Ashra, demon of the Netherrealm. I appear nearly human because I've purged most evil from my soul. My sister demons
still not
were
sure about
furious
this
at my
character.
change of heart.
I like her outfit.
Yeah.
She's a demon that's purged evil from her heart.
He's a good demon. Allegedly.
Lawful good tiefling.
Yeah, just like the.
Must prepare you for war. You will accept chaos by choice or by force.
Oh, did he just grow his arm back?
Mother is a heinous proposition. One I
The like the
won't let you
was it
fulfill.
the remnant version?
Oh, he's a zombie man.
He's the undead version.
His torso tore apart and he punched her. He took his arm off and beat her with it. And he's fighting with some sort of imp lady. Oh god. Oh wait. Oh.
Disqualification, brought in
Dude.
an extra party and a 1v1.
Must see.
Damn,
Good
Damn.
ability. Crocodile roll. Poison breath.
Disqualified.
It's interesting what they're doing with Melina because they're making the.
How many weapons does this guy have?
Striker's armed to the teeth for police
Yeah, he's all about
brutality.
his. Arm off again.
Yeah, the set pieces are great, man. Look at the fireworks in the background. I kind of want to see what party's going on back there.
I wonder. I wonder if it still has the map interactions that it did with the last game.
Oh, I'm sure they do have some map fatalities and stage changes. That's a crazy fatality.
Take your chaos elsewhere.
Here we go.
Oh, oh.
Nummy.
Now, even you furries have some vor content. September 19th. The scalies, right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misrepresent.
Yeah, don't mis-species them.
Now, Stacy sent me this article as some news that we have for our boy, Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill Highlander reboot could start a new franchise. Apparently, Henry Cavill's long-awaited Highlander reboot is still on its way, and it sounds epic. So, I don't know if you've seen the original Highlander, Kara, but apparently our boy is in the process of, remaking that. There can only be one.
If they do, I hope there is like cameos from Christopher Lambert and stuff like that.
That would be nice.
No,
to
they
just
can't
tie
Sean
in.
Connery anymore because rest in peace, he passed away. But I'm very excited for it.
Now we know as little as this article as you get, so that's probably about it. But yeah, just
The
like
thing-
a quick summary, like, oh, I forgot I had to write a blog post for my class tomorrow.
a lot of this is hearsay.
Chad Stahelski is the director for John Wick 4. So, the John Wick series is an amazing series. And the last one was just, I recommend it as a must watch.
Some of the best choreography you'll see
Yes.
for any type of combat scenes. So we can expect this to not just be a homage or a continuation. I would expect it to be an improvement because with time, you want stuff to be better. What we've kind of been treated to recently, though, is new stuff kind of isn't better than the previous.
Yeah.
So
Like better
hopefully.
brand skins, but
Good tie back.
Well, the thing that I think that they won't improve on would be the soundtrack because Queen did the whole soundtrack for the last movie,
Mhm.
like a couple songs specifically for it. So I wonder what they will do for this one. I wonder if they'll get specific bands or a specific band to play the whole soundtrack.
Oh, probably not. You're probably going to try to do it in house. It's so expensive to have like a certain band do your whole score, but
Sorry.
the world
You're
is
spending millions on a movie, you can like fork out something to
they
musicians
skimp
somewhere.
in the weirdest places,
it is gonna be distributed by Warner Bros. And 20th Century Studios, so I'm sure they're gonna have some kind of like music soundtrack connections.
It's going to be a big deal. This is supposed to be another movie, right? Not a show, right?
It's a movie and it's going to refer to the TV show as well. It says there's going to be some scenes and maybe some characters, like elements brought in from the TV shows. Which Connor McLeod was the movie, Duncan McLeod was the TV show. And a lot of people really liked the TV show as well.
What's your vision for that? Like John Wick has such a unique style and aesthetic. Are you looking to bring something similar to that franchise?
Very much. It's almost scary how similar the two properties can be when you really look at it. Both are hidden worlds: the world of the immortals, the world of the assassins. There's definitely a code: no fighting on holy ground, the gathering, the quickening. which is super interesting to me, and I think it's got its own great mythology. What's really interesting about the Highlander franchise is it's through time. You know, I don't think I've ever seen, including vampire lore films or historical or classical or period pieces, where you've seen a character that's lived for 500 years. Have you really seen anything that showed a character that's lived through so many lifetimes and done through so many things and influenced humanity so many different ways, what that person's like, and then what would that skill set be? You know, they kind of breezed over it in Highlander the series and the other films associated, but we'd really like to examine what, I mean, as far as an action design goes, can you imagine what somebody that had 500 years of practice would be like? On top of the mythical power of, you know, the quickening and everything. I think that's
Probably be
super.
like John Wick.
He'd be like John Wick, but with a sword. So, you know, I've shot people in the head. Now maybe I'll chop some heads off.
The last
So that sounds like a very passionate director. So if anything, he's like 500 years of combat experience. I want to put that on film. So
Yes.
as a guy, all I want to see is the smoke. I want to see people like kicking people off of mountains and shit, throwing swords, and you know, it's gonna be great. But we'll see.
Have the two of you watched the original Highlander?
Stacy's a big fan.
Of course. I'm Scottish.
Xavier,
Yes.
have you?
I watched the movie. I'm not familiar with the show.
Okay, well, I'm purposely not gonna watch the old one then. So then when the new one comes out, I'll be the perspective of like never seeing the old one.
That's good.
You know how like okay, a little bit of a twist. You know how like we all watch anime, right?
Right.
We watch Death Note, we grow up with it, we know the masterpiece that it is, correct?
Mhm.
And then the whole Death Note live action happened,
Oh,
and then
God.
people who don't watch anime watched it and thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Oh,
I
Jesus.
feel like it'll be like that. Like you guys will be like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty good, but you know this, that, and the other." I'm like, "It was amazing."
The fact that Henry Cavill's in it, I know you'll give it a 10.
I have a
And the
feeling it's
fact-
gonna be good, but that's good. We're gonna come back to this in a bit, and we're gonna see how close we
Wait,
were to being how you guessed.
One more thing I want to add, like what he's saying with Henry Cavill being in it, but they don't know who he's playing yet. I do hope he's playing Connor because Henry Cavill has a lot of sword experience and training, like with The Witcher and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see who they cast him as.
He's gonna be a lead for sure. I am. I just want him to have a really big involvement, honestly.
I don't know. They might cast him as Kurgan, which is the main bad guy.
Yeah, I would be refreshing to see him in the heel position, you know.
Is he ever in like a villain position? I think everything
that
I've
I
ever seen
remember.
him in, he's like the protagonist.
Is he in 007? One of the 007 movies?
Dude, I haven't seen
Henry?
any of the new ones.
I don't think so.
The famous the gunshot punch, the loading his arms punch.
My dad is the 007 fan, and I've seen all the original ones. I'm not sure of the newer ones.
No.
No, wait, what am I thinking of then?
There's a teaser. I guess he's tried for it or something. James Bond audition. He had an audition. And it was tremendous, apparently. That's what you're thinking of. Maybe. So that's interesting news if you're one of our people who follow us just because we talk about Henry Cavill. You're welcome. Moving on back to our addiction, League of Legends. We have a new character coming out. I'm more like, boo, fuck. But, you know, a new character. Let's be excited. There was a teaser that was actually data mined and leaked. This actually is still on current, and it's interactable. As of right now, we can't see the full thing, but since it's been data mined, we have access to the full cinematic. They pieced it together because the people on the internet are amazing. So we pretty much know that Briar is locked up in what looks like a Noxus prison, and it looks like she's either alone or this is a wing of the prison that hasn't been accessed in a long time.
It was Mission Impossible I was referring to before, by the way.
Ah.
That's Briar, and she, so far I found out, is a failed experiment of LeBlanc's cult or her coven.
Ah, so we got another person connected to the Pale Lady LeBlanc. It looks like she has a pillory around her neck or something. She can't access her hands.
Well, I thought it was Victor for a second. I was like, that Victor was?
You hear the clanking over and over again. So throughout the cinematic, you get to see how she interacts. It looks like she's a little girl.
They pointed out she is not a little girl.
She's not.
Ooh.
She's just very petite, I think.
Oh.
She's buff. What do you mean? Look at her.
I can't really get a good look. That face does not scream.
The cinematic,
Adulthood.
cinematic. If you bring that up, you'll see.
All right, let's get to
more
it.
of her form.
Let's see. We have the cinematic. We paste it here. It's not a sunset. Hold on. This one right
It's
here.
in pinboard.
Friend or food.
Soldier! She's got blood!
Light work.
Hi!
What?
You're escaping too?
Hi! I didn't expect that.
She's been fed!
On your guard!
Escape, buddy!
Escape buddy.
That's my friend! And you're food!
Oh god.
And... Wasn't that fun? Huh.
Oh, I wonder how the shackles work.
It seems
I
like
bet you that'll be
she.
part of her abilities.
It's gonna be a part of her kit, which they actually, because the internet's amazing, we actually have her abilities leaked. This is by Remus.
So,
Well,
I wanna
apparently
know what
Bragon
lane
got
or-
ready to or not, but let's just look into it anyway. Spike and her armor
like
before
what
boosting
role
it
she's
pursues
like
nearest
kind of
enemy.
set up to be in.
I heard from leaks that she's supposed to be a jungler. It looks like her Q is leaping to a unit and stunning and breaking their armor. Her W
Okay.
is kind of her main cool gimmick. It sends her into a blood frenzy where she shatters the pillory. It is a pillory and pursues nearest enemies, prioritizing
Oh.
champs while she frenzies. So she activates like a frenzy with her W, and it gets
So
a boost
I'm
in attack
feeling
speed.
like a mix between Warwick and Jinx, because it looks here it's attack speed and movement speed.
I can definitely get the Warwick vibe. I don't think she has hard CC. She had her Q. Oh, it does. Q stuns. Okay, so her Q is going to be a mobility action that also stuns and breaks armor. That's a really strong Q.
I'm
W.
so
Cool.
excited for people to take her mid lane and make my life miserable and nerf her into oblivion.
Someone
Shout
put
out to the
Crocs.
Fury players.
Now,
Someone put Crocs on her because her feet are.
Stop it. Can't show the dogs for free.
now, what I'm curious
That's what
about
everybody was
is
saying on Twitter. They were all like, feet, cute feet.
do they have her in a game
What is
yet?
up, ladies and gentlemen? For today's video, we have got the full reveal
Oh, they
of the
do.
champion.
Would she already be in
the
PvE?
restrained hunger. In this video,
Uh,
I'm going to be showing you everything about Briar, from her gameplay to her lore, and I want to give a big
Full
shout out to
kit
Riot
shown
Games because
below.
they actually invited me to
Yeah,
a
she must
sneak
be in the
peek at the champion.
PvE.
I got to talk
Does
to
she-
the
oh,
developers
is-
and ask them
I'm not sure if
I
this
bet
is.
you she.
So
I
thank
bet
you
you
to
she
Riot,
could have
and
been
without
coming
further
out with
ado,
the
let's see
new big
just how
patch that's
broken
supposed to
Briar is.
happen when we
So Briar
thought
is a
Blue
jungler
Essence was
that can
gonna
also be
happen.
played
Oh,
with. The
okay.
idea behind
That's
Briar
why
is
it was
that she
pushed
is so
back for
literally
her.
so good that nothing can stop
So they're saying she's a jungle primary with a secondary top. This video is by Aoki. Thank you for the footage. Champion can self-taunt itself against nearby enemies, lose control, but gain power. Whoa.
Ooh.
R certain death. Briar kicks a bloodstone and flies to the location. So I imagine she has a lot of mobility. What was that?
What?
What was that?
Distance, you're joking.
Please tell me that's just like a Ash Vision thing. No, she can go to the location. What?
There you have it, everyone. We have video
Dude,
evidence of
dude,
why
no.
we'll be perma-banning
Dude,
her
no.
every single game.
We're still dealing with the Fury. I can't.
So it's like a Vex.
It seems like it, yeah. That's a lot of range on that boy, because she was by red.
I cannot believe that.
If this is on PvE, expect a video of me talking about it a little bit later, but we'll find out. Blood Frenzy Snack Attack.
Will that work on minions and stuff and not just champions? If that does, then her jungle movement's gonna be insane.
Possibly, we'll see. From that footage, it looked like she targeted a champ. We're gonna find out, though. So I imagine she's gonna be a rage monster.
Yeah, speaking of rage monster, you know those commercials where they're like, have you or a loved one ever been affected by mesothelioma?
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. I think at this point, I'm eligible for Riot to pay me for all my pain and suffering, especially when she is released. That's ridiculous. I'm never going in the jungle.
This seems interesting, because Neferi just came out. I hope that Briar's AP.
Like this, it's
nope,
too much
I'm staying
damage.
mid.
The creator of the champion,
You want me to help on Baron?
August,
Nope.
told me getting hit by her E
I'm
into
getting
a
turret.
wall, it's like
I'm
getting
not
hit
going
by
anywhere.
a full AP Nunu ult. So
Getting hit by a full AP Nunu ult is her E? That's what he said? He said Riot August made her. Let's see. What champions is he responsible for? Let's see. So he's given us monsters like Jin. Is that it? V, Jinx, Gnar, Echo, Senna, Vic, Zeri. Well, he only makes monsters that I can't deal with. No fucking way. He made Zeri.
Not a monster. She's misunderstood.
Oh my God. I'm talking about unplayable against monsters. Jinx is a hyper carry. Vi has so much engage, it's annoying.
Because I said she gave off such Jinx energy too.
Yeah, her design.
Her personality.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny that it's made by the same guy, so he's reaching back into the well, it seems.
He was like, I miss her.
I want Jinx to be able to be played in the jungle. I think Stacey said that too. It's like Jinx and Warwick together.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So she looks interesting. I am of the opinion, I think I said it last podcast, is that just stop making champions for a little bit and polish the ones we got. All right, we're still trying to deal with Neferi. We ban her every game.
Some champions only have 2 skins still.
That's another thing too. She's launching with a skin, you know she is. And then my poor boys, they got like 3 skins. All Kog'Maw skins that are not cute and recently released are old and ugly. Please touch those up. Reindeer Kog'Maw gives me nightmares. Please.
Kog'Maw gives me nightmares. Have you seen the face on that thing?
Such a cute little boy, man, when he's in a bee costume.
No.
Come on now. Don't do that.
Maybe if you have cataracts.
Possibly. Neferi has a 42% ban rate, right? We're still trying to get used to her. 42%, and they consider her D tier.
No, she has a 42% win rate, a 47% ban rate.
47% ban rate.
I am a high contributing factor of that. I ban her every game.
The most banned jungler, and they think her utility is bad. That's insane. But, you know, I'm not going to dwell on that. We got some new stuff coming for Riot. She launches with the skin. I believe it's also going to be a part of the Street Demons, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
I can't confirm that, but I'm going to let you bring us in on this Valorant news. It looks like they have a map trailer.
Because I swear every time they come out with one of these, it's like a new story. Like, it looks like a movie trailer. And I just think Riot I would love to see just them as a production company sometimes than as like game developers, because we make jokes all the time about how League is hanging on by a thin thread. But then like look at the quality that they can produce to get you hyped up for something.
Oh yeah.
And then just like we were talking about last time, how phenomenal Arcane was and how it brought so many people who don't even play the game into League of Legends and Riot because of how much they can grab your attention. And they do the same thing with like every Valorant cinematic. Like, I'll be honest, I couldn't care less about this map, but this whole video was just awesome with the graphics and like way they made the story and everything.
Yeah, I don't play Valorant at all, but when I'm watching this, I want to know what's happening.
It's giving me what Overwatch should be at this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Overwatch used to always be the ones who had like these type of graphics
Crazy.
when it came to like the characters. And Valorant has easily stepped up and done the same thing, if not better. I love the character designs for Valorant players or agents. I actually don't know who she is. That's how long I haven't played this. I think the last time I played it, oh god, what's his name? With the green hair, he just came out. That was the last time I played it, and I was like a hardcore Killjoy main. This girl with the blonde hair, I'm intrigued, and it actually almost made me want to get on Valorant and play again because I watched this when it came out yesterday.
And that's what a trailer should do. Build interest, get you back involved. I think Fortnite has always been good at that as well.
This can't be the only way.
Well,
even though it's not cinematics to this extent, every time there's a new season, there's an update, you get a video. You get something. A feature with collab with Naruto, collab with Dragon Ball, and stuff like that. I feel that's one thing we're definitely missing with League.
well, they could collab with super popular K-pop boys named ATs and create the male KDA version. That's all I'm saying.
That would be great. I mean, it's been like 4 years since the KDA All Out stuff, right? Or it feels like it, anyway.
It's been a while, but Stacy showed me a tweet where the Riot Music Studios also tweeted pictures of ATs because they went to the Riot Studios when they were in LA for a fan signing event and like KCON LA and things like that. And I find it very intriguing that Riot didn't post it, but Riot's music team posted it. And that's all I'm going to say.
I don't want to get your hopes up because I saw that tweet and I saw the first comment replied from Riot where they said, "Oh, what does this mean?" And they replied with, "They're just gaming, bro."
Well, I was scrolling through the comments too with Stacy, and everyone was begging and saying, "Oh my gosh, there it is." What was I saying? But everyone was begging and saying like, "Oh, if you make this happen, I'll buy all the skins, or if you make this happen, I'll start playing again, and I'll buy all the merch and everything." And you know, all Riot really needs are some dollar signs. So I mean, maybe.
Do it, Riot.
Do it.
Here's hoping they actually have the sense to say, "Hey, this got a lot of retweets and what is it, 4,700 retweets? Let's see what has Riot Music done recently."
I'll ask again though, who would they have for the male version of KDA?
I don't know.
As far as characters, let's have a look real quick. I think Ezreal is like a go-to for sure because he hasn't really been utilized in the music space, and
Echo?
he's Echo's already
Echo,
in
True Damage.
True Damage. I think he does have the right age. I think Aphelios is underrated. I think he really would fit some sort of group as the spunky, quiet type.
Well, he'd be the only emo one.
That is true. That is true. The thing that hurts him a little bit is that he's so broody, and his sister has to be involved with him in some capacity because they wrote him that way.
Forgot he was in True Damage.
I mean, they could take let's see. Definitely not Draven. Ezreal is good. I think Ezreal's like number 1. We need to find people around his mold, maybe. Twisted Fate, I don't feel like he's used often. He's older though, but
I just think the coolest champions were already used. in
Yeah.
288 and True Damage. That's the tough.
Wait,
That's
Wait,
like
wait,
the
wait.
hard part about it.
Put some respect on my boy Kane.
Akali's in True Damage too, though, and she's in KDA.
That's
Yeah.
true. I don't know. I feel like they open up True Damage with Echo, and he's like so important to the group. That'd be weird.
Mm.
I wouldn't hate it though, like if they did like some sort of. But you know how K-pop is. They're not gonna market a black guy like that. I'm sorry, just saying. I'm a black guy. I could say that. They're not gonna market us like that. It's just it is what it is, bro. So you definitely need somebody skinny. Silas never wears a shirt. Set is great. Set is
That could be
great.
like that 90s like boy band like heartthrob though. He's got the wispy hair and everything.
I think he'd be great for a group like
Come
that.
on, like easily.
He already has the skinny jeans. He's ready.
Oh god.
That is San right there. I'm telling you. San even has red hair right now. Boom.
That
Okay,
would work.
on
So
to the next one.
we got 2 already. Kane would be good because he's not used in anything. The thing with him, he's like an edge. So if you need, but okay, Set he would have to. They would have to change his personality a little bit. Then I guess
Rakan.
Rakan. Oh, ew, let's see. I haven't even seen Rakan in a while. Let's look at him.
Possibly.
Oh yeah, he's a pretty boy. Yeah, he could probably do it.
Boy, he's boy.
That would be. That could be Yosang. Maybe.
Birds need representation. You need the who's the strong silent toy type.
Oh, in all their music videos and their storyline too, Yosang actually has an attachment with like birds and feathers and things like that that lead back to their story. All right, where's the pen?
There you go.
Write
a letter.
I'm gonna go ahead and help write it out by cutting the time down. I'm gonna go ahead and start intertwining all of this together so they don't have an excuse. So
board though set up.
Yeah, we've got 2 members down, so I'm ready. We got this.
And as far as things that we're gonna wrap up today, unfortunately, we have some bad news that happened a couple days ago. But there was a video that was uploaded a little bit ago by Ludwig. I'm gonna let Kara take over on this one as well.
So I watched this vaguely last night, like right after it was uploaded, and basically what I think Ludwig comes to say is like his whole Valorant team is pretty much like wasted. Like he spent so many hours and like hundreds of thousands of dollars of like developing the team. Like this is what I was telling you, Stacy, because Stacy was talking about him and like Moist and stuff, and I said that they like collabed and like made the team and everything. And then from what I understood, because I just skimmed through it really fast, is basically the group that they lost to perform as a team for next year, and so I think it's like a VCT tournament or something. It was something for Valorant, like an actual team competition, right? The team they lost to are now like disqualified because they didn't fill out the paperwork, so they're not going. So why not let Ludwig's team go because they were the runner-up? And so basically he just feels like his whole team's like effort, money, and everything got wasted for like all of 2023. And I just think it's wild. And it's crazy how like unhinged the competitive scene is, which is like kind of something that we've talked about before with like how LCS is dying and esports is in like a little bit of shambles and everything like that. I just thought that was crazy and thought it would be interesting for you guys to like see and what you felt about it, because I would be gutted. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ludwig has a ton of money, but like imagine if it wasn't Ludwig and it was like someone else who like built it from the ground up and like believed and like put his whole life into this.
Everyone's affected. Like his whole team is affected. I feel like when they keep treating important people like this, I'm gonna say Ludwig is a face. You definitely don't want to get faces upset. He represents a big community, not just his team, but he represents anybody who tunes in. There's a lot of people who will just tune in, not because they care about Valorant or they care about Critical. They care about Ludwig.
It would be me. I would have watched his team play because I would like to support Ludwig because I like Ludwig and I like all the nostalgia that they give me from whenever Among Us was so big and all of offline TV and everyone played. Like I would be thinking about that, and I would go out of my way and watch this because I'd be like, "Yay, Ludwig!" You know. So that would be me.
I think what they always with esports, they run it like it's para sports. If you ever watch the NFL, NBA, and you watch early esports, they've been trying to ape it from the start. They've been trying to replicate it in a digestible package. Here's the thing that's different about the NFL and the NBA. They've had a history, a storied history, where only certain individuals can do these things. You want to see the top of best basketball players? You watch the NBA, NFL, etc., etc., etc. Esports has always been that way, but here's the problem: when streamers get bigger than your esports, you are subservient to them. There's a certain thing with Valorant streamers where a lot of the best players don't play for competitive teams. They stream. A lot of the best League players, League's biggest player, Tyler One, never played for a competitive team. And he's accessible. And that's who you're competing with. So instead of creating opposition with these players, like Ludwig, etc., be their friend. You are subservient to them because they bring the viewership. All these things are dying because they follow the same formula. We are the organization. We bring the player, etc., etc. But here's the difference. The NFL, if you want to see a certain player, you need to tune into the NFL. I could just watch Ludwig. I could literally just watch anybody I want. All those players who are on his team, they're not under contract where they can't stream. So I could just watch that player. So it's a very different animal, and they treat it like it's a real sport. It's not. Esports is super accessible. Just because I want to see your event with commercials and advertisement? Are you crazy? You better be kissing this man. Okay.
I just think that honestly, it would have been in their best interest to just be like, well, you guys didn't sign the paperwork, you didn't want it bad enough. Ludwig, get in here. And like I think it would have helped both parties. I mean, they got to compete, they got to be a team, and then they helped bring like the viewership and the hypeness of like Ludwig's team getting into esports. They've been begging to like redeem esports for the last couple of years. And that would have been like a great opportunity. I'm not saying it would have changed like the whole game, but it definitely would have been a stepping stone. I would have been that like, okay, so you guys want me to call Ludwig? You want me to get his team back on here? Like, what are we doing?
They're gonna mess up, and because here's the thing about Critical, because he's also a part of this. Those guys are ambitious. They don't need an organization. They'll just make their own. They will literally just subvert whoever's in control right now. It's like, okay, you guys are running this like shit. Okay. It doesn't take much to get people together. The games we already have. So we're here for the players anyway. So we don't need your organization. And I think Riot before, not just with Valorant, but with League, they've had issues with commentators not getting to go to certain events that have been going to events for years. People getting banned for no reason. People just getting fired out the blue because they're trying to reorganize the organization and whatnot. What they don't realize is when you go to Twitch right now, League is not the same way it used to be. There's Tyler One, and there's a big ladder before you get down to like anybody who's a professional streamer. You might see Dantes or Tarzan or a couple of junglers that are up there or people on Korea trips. But there is a big dichotomy in viewership for that game. Your biggest game is no longer League. It probably is Valorant if I checked right now. But it's not a good formula. You don't want to start making enemies. It costs you. You already had it prepped for a team to go. There's no reason to make an enemy of Ludwig. It's really petty. Really petty.
Absolute silliness.
As a result, we've shat on Riot. I think sufficiently. I don't think we did too much. I don't think we did too little. But this is going to probably conclude what we have lined up for today. I pretty much said my piece. You guys have any closing statements for our lovely ladies and gentlemen that are tuning in?
They'll have a certain amount of staff on board to help run and operate the business.
Not like too much
because they don't want to spend any more
Sorry,
money.
Stacey.
Because maybe they don't think it's worth the time because they certainly
She's
have
gonna
money,
fight me.
but maybe
No,
they
no,
need more time.
Oh, Dad, stop.
I know you're gonna reprimand me after this. It's
All right,
fine.
so
Oh, no,
we're talking
no,
about
come give me a hug.
What they
business
don't
decided to
hear.
paper that says, "Hey, I'll pay millions of dollars for my players to operate in your league. In exchange,
All
you
right,
go for a
Stacey.
stipend that covers some of it, but not all of it."
Where do you
And then
go?
we on
You're
and we have-
killing me.
They don't want to do it. It is kind of weird they don't want to
We
do
just
it.
don't
Stacey
want
can
to
go
say
last.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Because all I wanted to talk about was how Henry Cavill is always going to be the one
Oh
true
God, no.
Geralt.
Oh,
No,
God,
we
we
didn't.
made a
Oh,
mistake.
cut off. Cut off.
To go back to what they were in February. But it sucks for
All
us.
right. Enjoy. Have a great